Alright, what's up guys? Imagine building a website in 3 hours that now pulls in $35,000 a month, every single month, with a 99% profit margin. I know this sounds unrealistic, and honestly, it sounds like a late night infomercial, but for Pontus and his co-founder Victor, this is a reality. So they actually built a Cursor directory. It's a simple site that helps developers find rules for the Cursor AI code editor. And since then, they've seen over 2 million visitors, all while spending less than 3 hours a month on maintenance, and that is the power of SaaS. That's why I always push the business model software as a service. It's the highest leverage opportunity in 2026. So let's get into the story, guys. So the idea didn't really come from a venture capital boardroom. It came from boredom. So Pontus was on a flight to France, watching tech interviews and videos to kill time on the plane, but he noticed a reoccurring pattern. Developers were all using Cursor rules, but there was no central place or directory to look at those rules. And before his product, you pretty much had to dig through multiple Reddit subforums, websites, GitHub repositories to find those rules. And look guys, I've had a relatable moment like this. I'm sure you guys have as well. Before I hit 10K per month with my music helper tool, I noticed there was a gap similar to this guy's story in the market for musicians and them needing help to write music and produce music. So I feel like every founder goes through this exact process by just spotting that gap and getting that idea when it's totally unrelated to your work. So anyways, the second he landed, he called Victor from his Airbnb, and they just shipped fast. They didn't do a month of research. A lot of you guys are struggling with this. They didn't write out a business plan. All Victor did was just jump into a website called Figma, design out the screens, while Pontus, his technical founder, spun up an MVP in Cursor or Next.js. So I want to tell the story because a lot of you guys spend months developing your product, almost perfecting an app that nobody really wants. But what you guys should learn is Pontus and Victor did the exact opposite. They prioritized speed over perfection. They literally had a clickable version on Vercel within 30 minutes. They had content. So Pontus hard-coded a JSON file with rules he found on some random forum online just to get the ball rolling. And they snagged the domain cursor.directory, which I'm sure they spent less than 30 minutes thinking of because it's a domain that clearly explains what the product is and the value proposition immediately. So guys, if you're in an idea phase right now, similar to them, this is where I usually step in. I offer one-to-one mentorship to help founders ship and cut through the noise. Or if you guys have a killer idea, but zero interest in touching the actual code, which is totally relatable, me and my team have developed custom apps for clients who just wanted a finished product without weeks or months long of coding. So if you guys are interested, click the link in the description and let's get back to the video. So a lot of you guys might be thinking directories are dead, but when there's a surge of demand for a product, that is quite the opposite. When AI just came out, there were AI directories. When Cursor came out, they found an opportunity to make a directory for Cursor rules. And the truth is, directories are not dead, they just evolved. So the founder's secret was just timing and community. They pretty much shared every step of the way on X or Twitter. One post on Twitter got over 1 million impressions because they weren't directly selling on Twitter. They were doing very soft selling by just showing the code and the journey along the way, and people just tuned in. They also made the design as a moat. So obviously in an era of generic AI websites with the purple gradients, believe it or not, high-end designs is actually a competitive edge, guys. So Pontus reused components from his other websites. I personally recommend a website called 21st.dev. I'm not sponsored. I'm just saying that when you're vibe coding, you can plug in a lot of designs from that website into yours. I'm not sure if Pontus used that, but I know he used a lot of his resources from his previous websites. And this is just to make the site look premium and trustable, guys. And I also have to include, they did have perfect timing because they caught the wave of Cursor AI at the right time when it was exploding. So to sum it up, guys, they pretty much shipped before they were ready. I personally had this story when I was trying to scale a B2B CRM SaaS. One of the competitors actually raised their prices and everybody on Reddit was complaining. So I spun up a B2B CRM and I pre-sold that up to 2K MRR. And that is the perfect example of taking advantage of a wave just like these co-founders did. So let's break down the business model and how it operates at 99.8% profit margins. So the site costs about $500 a month and generates $35,000. So this is where that revenue comes from. They have job ads. Companies pay to list developer roles to a highly targeted audience. You know, it's funny, it's very similar to a tweet that I saw about Mark Liu on Twitter. He basically made a website where you could look at other people's monthly recurring revenue, and he didn't know how to monetize it because you can't really hard paywall a community, like I always say. So he let other businesses come in and advertise their business for a monthly fee. That's exactly what these people did. Very smart monetization strategy because guys, if you're trying to increase a high K factor, you cannot hard paywall. It's just two completely different things. So another way they made money was by featured listings. Again, developers pay the website to list their tools, or MCPs, which is Model Context Protocol. Not going to get too much into that. Featured as the top of the search. And without getting too much into it, they added a feature where users can upload their own package.json, and the site generates custom AI rules tailored to their specific project. But again, I'm not very technical. I'm a marketer in the SaaS industry, so we'll just skip over that. So a lot of the technical people are going to ask, what is his tech stack? And they kept it pretty boring. So their framework is Next.js and TypeScript. Their hosting is Vercel. I recommend that, zero friction. They said that their database and backend is managed via GitHub because it is open source. Their payments are from Polar, which is a merchant of record, and it's pretty essential for European countries. They have different rules over there. And the email and analytics is Resend and Plausible. So guys, my final advice is to stop learning and start shipping as fast as possible. We live in a time of AI. You guys need to take advantage of the opportunities that present, even if you guys are in a different business model. I say in many videos that software and social media are the highest leverage opportunities, and you guys need to take advantage of that. I always say in every video, software and social media are the highest leverage opportunities in today's time. You guys need to take advantage of that. And if there are a couple lessons you could take from this video, it's to just start, because when you commit to building, you quote unquote create your own luck. And even if the project fails, you've built the muscle of shipping, which is more valuable than any tutorial on YouTube. And there's really no such thing as failure, guys, only learning and iteration. So that's it for today's video, guys. If you guys want to work with me one-to-one, check the link in the description. Have a good one. See you guys tomorrow.